Welcome to another edition of the Nightly Nuge. Ted, you know what? Reparations. Everybody wants them. Who's going to pay for it? And why in the world are we back talking about reparations? But we are. Jackson Lee from the great state of Texas thinks that all, her quote, African Americans need reparations. Your thoughts?
Here's the insanity of the reparations lie. Why would people who have never owned slaves have to pay a fine to people who never were slaves? And if anybody needs reparation, of course, I refuse to even say that. If anybody needs to be acknowledged for atrocities in the past, what about the Irish? What about the Native Americans? What about the Jews? What about other segments of our humanity that have just been beat to the ground and abused and the atrocities leveled upon them? I would recommend that Sheila Jackson Lee just shut the flying up and just do what I do what everybody I know does, including my black friends and my Hispanic friends and my Asian friends and my gay friends and my gender confused friends. Get up early, be the best that you can be, speak clearly, wear your pants somewhere above the hips, and show up on time and put your heart and soul into being the best that you can be. None of those glowing human attributes have a color, a creed, a religion, or a nationality. Being the best that you can be is colorless. I continue to celebrate content of character because none of the atrocities of the past have anything to do with how someone pursues life, liberty, and happiness today and tomorrow. I would recommend that Sheila Jackson Lee and the scam artists of the left concentrate on excellence and today and tomorrow. Because my friends who were heroin addicts in the past, they never start out a conversation by saying, how about those heroin days of mine? Boy, those heroin days sure were. No, move on. Eliminate the negative past and make tomorrow as positive as you can. And guess what the great chief of the Native Americans said? God gave you everything you need. It's time to review your arsenal of gifts from God and put them to use with your heart and soul. That's the battle cry for life, liberty, and the pursuit of gonzo American happiness.
And
Case closed.
When you look at history, Ted, slavery wasn't. Whites didn't have the corner on the market on slavery. In Africa, if one tribe overtook another tribe, they enslaved their people. The Native Americans here on the plains, if the Sioux overran the Crow, they enslaved their women and children. I mean, this is we've seen it in all annals of history. The Israelites were slaves in Egypt, so on and so forth. But what humankind did was they saw that was a scourge and they attempted to fix it. And one of the things that gets me about the reparations, Ted, is what about all of the soldiers that fought for the North in the Civil War?
Yes.
To abolish slavery? Is there reparations for their families? What about all the Republicans that fought against the Democrats to get the Civil Rights Act passed in spite of the Democrats filibustering? Do they get reparations? Give you the final word on the matter, Ted.
Well, I'm addicted to truth, logic, and common sense, and within that beautiful realm of truth, logic, and common sense is real, obvious, unambiguous justice. There's a lot of anti-justice atrocities that we can look back on and look at right now. Look at all the January 6th people who are still in the gulags in the United States of America. Look at all the people that the Justice Foundation, I think it's called, exonerated after they spent 50, 60 years in prison for a crime they didn't commit. And then our government will make that person who's finally been exonerated and found innocent, They make them sign something that they won't retaliate against the justice system that was anti-justice. So we have a lot of work to do, but it has nothing to do with those atrocities of the past because they're too widespread and they're too indicative of the lowest of lows that mankind is capable of. The name of the game is to communicate with our elected officials and make sure that we get justice now and today. And it has nothing to do with the scam of reparations, because once you open that Pandora's box, it will cover everybody.
Wow. You know what, Ted, tomorrow is our Friday free-for-all. I know you recently, as you do every day, but this time you had your guitar on stage performing to a huge crowd, and I know you're getting ready to go out on tour. So tomorrow night for the free-for-all, I want to talk about your recent concert celebrating 100 years of Remington.
Yeah, 100-year anniversary of Federal Ammunition, which also includes the Remington ammo line and a bunch of great sporting goods. Great people, great law enforcement, great hardworking middle America up there in the great. I was with the real Minnesota, and I was with the real working hard, playing hard families, and it's a great story, and it represents the heart and soul of what makes America great every day. So let's talk about that.
Come back tomorrow night. We'll have some more guitar in hand, the Nightly Nooch.